The fame that comes with TikTok can sometimes be dangerous, as it can blind people and strip away any sense of responsibility. In today's video we will explore 3 morbid stories of TikTokers who committed terrible crimes, even resulting in loss of innocent lives. The most concerning part is the behavior of some of these TikTokers after being convicted. Some of them just smiled and claimed everything was alright, just seconds before the US Marshals took them away, while others lied and refused to admit their crimes, despite being caught red-handed. And if you're tired of AI slop crime videos like this,
Auf TikTok sahen wir aus wie eine normale Mutter und Tochter. Aber wir wurden wegen
you came to the right video. Even if I sound like an AI, I can assure you that this video is not some generic AI garbage, but it's garbage made by a real human. Good, enough with the jokes. We do have to look at 3 dark stories about TikTokers who committed awful crimes. Who doesn't enjoy a good downfall story? It's not good to be happy about anyone's misfortune, but when someone feels so entitled that they believe they can escape the law and avoid being charged with murder, we do look at things a bit differently. Meet Mahek Bukhari. Her parents originally came from Pakistan before moving to England. However, the Western culture would have a great influence on Mahek growing up. She started to study fashion at Newcastle College. But before she could finish what she started, something happened in her life. She started to devote much time to social media. Platforms like YouTube, Instagram, and most importantly, TikTok became her new reality. She managed to get 160,000 followers on TikTok. As her fame grew, money problems would slowly disappear. This is a time where she even managed to drag her 46-year-old mother, Serene Bukhari, into making videos. They would often do videos together and started to live a very luxurious lifestyle. Mahek would often post about wearing different outfits, but also the usual stuff you will see like dancing and showing off, often flashing at fancy shisha bar openings among other things. But Mahek didn't have any real friends apparently. The 46-year-old mother started to become her new friend. Because Mahek started to drag her mother along, something funny happened. A side effect of this was that the mother started to hang out with a much younger crowd than usually. It didn't take long for the 20-year-old Saqib Hussain to see her friend's mother, and somehow they started to date. Of course, it was a secret as Serene was still married. This would go on for over 3 years. Mahek did know about the relationship, even if not approving, she tried to ignore it. And she would definitely not snitch on her mother for having an affair with one of her friends. The biggest problem was that Saqib really felt in love and wanted to have a real relationship. But again, she was married. Now things will get a bit dark. He felt that he spent over thousands of dollars by taking her out to dinners, hotels, and by buying nice things. Angry and jealous, he threatened to leak her nudes to her husband if she didn't give him £3,000. The consequences would be obviously very serious, and the mother definitely did want the footage to be leaked, because it will ruin her marriage, and also it would be threat to Mahek, as her online fame would be in danger. Mother and daughter decided to team up to get rid of her nudes, but in the end they sadly managed to get rid of the evidence, but also Saqib, as a miscalculation in the plan. Mahek planned to lure Saqib to a meeting in a Tesco car park, saying she would give him the £3,000 he claimed to spend on her mother during their relationship. They planned to take his mobile phone from him, believing it contained explicit images of her mother. Saqib and his friend arrived in the Skoda marked with a green arrow, and the mother-daughter duo arrived in an Audi marked with red, and their acquaintances marked in blue. However, Saqib and his friend quickly recognized guys in ski masks, and they realized this meetup was an ambush organized by them. They started to drive away, but they were followed and chased in their Skoda Fabia along the A46 road. They were chased by a Seat Leon and an Audi TT from Mahek. What follows is a car chase on the highway. The cars reaching over 100 miles per hour. Saqib even called the police and told that he was chased and that he was scared for his life. But as he was talking to the police, suddenly a scream and the phone call is interrupted. This was because the blue Seat Leon rammed his car, resulting in a devastating crash. They would go off the road and hit a tree. The car crash was so severe that the car was ripped in 2 pieces and it caught fire. Saqib and his friend Hasim lost their life that tragic day. Mahik obviously decided to flee the crime scene and went home. But they overlooked something quite important. They didn't realize there were actual CCTV footage of the chase. The police quickly wanted to investigate them and arrived at the doorstep to ask some questions. But they denied everything and straight up lied about the whereabouts from the previous day.
Where were you? Where was that?
So we first stayed here and then we went straight to Nottingham.
Right. Okay. In the Audi.
Yes, Audi. Yeah.
The police didn't believe anything, so they arrested her. Suddenly, her story started to change.
So then the blue car went on to the left, and the silver car kept to the left, and it was just harassing. Like the blue car was trying to let you go, like go, you can go now because I'm letting you. But this silver car was not letting the blue car go.
On the day of the trial, they denied everything, but we need to mention that one of the acquaintances who was in the blue Seat, Mohammed Patel, went to the police and told them the full story. The court day was set on 4th of August 2022. The judge even mentioned that Serene was the only adult present in this situation, as everyone else was in their 20s. However, her daughter's fame and glamour completely blinded her judgment, leading her to make irrational decisions. She even cheated on her husband and committed this crime that she was now standing trial for in the courtroom.
Continued lies and deceit from the defendants as they tried to evade responsibility for the killings. They showed complete disdain for the lives of their victims.
Mahek was jailed for life and ordered to serve at least 31 years and 8 months. And the mother was sentenced to 26 years in prison. A tragic story, how a mother and a daughter have taken a life. The next story is quite different, as the mother was the monster in the story. The next case is quite interesting. Meet Nicola Priest, a 23-year-old girl. She was a mother who also had a TikTok account and she used her daughter in the videos, which isn't something bad, and the audience would also like the dynamic they both have. Nicole presented herself as a strong and caring mother figure, but that was just a nice front. In real life, Nicole was everything but not a caring mother, as we would see in the end. Nicole at the time didn't have any husband, but rather a boyfriend, the 22-year-old Kaylan Redfern, who wasn't living with them. One day she decided to invite him over. It was the 9th of August 2020. Because it was a bit late, they decided to put her 3-year-old daughter, Kaylee Priest, to sleep. They both felt a bit frisky and started to do, well, some things that adults do when they are lonely, let's say. Wheeling through the YouTube guidelines here, obviously. But suddenly there was a problem. The daughter didn't want to sleep, and she interrupted them in the act. They felt very annoyed and angry because she didn't want to sleep. They would tell her she needs to go to the bed, but Kaylee would refuse. The result was, trigger warning here, that the couple started to beat the girl so hard she died because of the consequences. Later, the mother called the emergency service. The odd thing was that she waited until Kaylee already passed away. The ambulance then arrived, stating that the child was beaten so severely they thought she was involved in a car crash. This was sadly not the first time the young Kaylee suffered physical abuse, but the child was also neglected in other ways. Nicole wouldn't regularly change her diapers and even sometimes forget to feed her. While investigating her phone, there was some evidence that she admitted to her boyfriend beating her because, well, she went number 2 in the diapers and she made a mess, to quote her messages. According to the neighbors who testified in the court, they heard screaming and banging that horrible day the phone call was made. The prosecutor, Andrew Smith, told the jury that Kaylee's injuries and death came after a sustained assault during a period when the daughter was alone with Priest and Redfern. The West Midlands Police Department said in a press that Kaylee suffered catastrophic abdominal and chest injuries, including fractured ribs. The couple was obviously arrested because of this and convicted with manslaughter. The mother, Nicole, received 15 years in prison and the boyfriend 14. But now I think that bothered me quite a lot is that I saw pictures from Nicole how she was mourning her online, with posts like "I miss you, my angel, rest in peace," etc. In another TikTok video she uploaded a week after her daughter's death, Nicole appeared to cry while lip-syncing the lyrics "I have should done better, I'm sorry mom and dad" from the song "To My Parents" by Anna Clending. This is according to businessinsider.com. And I'm simply baffled as to why she posted something like this. I mean, it was her fault, she was convicted, and something like this just makes me angry. And I don't think that 15 years is enough. It's just wrong and sad in the end. But this is not the only sad story we have today. We have one more until we end this video. The last one is quite mysterious, to be honest. This is the story of a pro-LGBTQ+ couple on TikTok, Eric Dodds and Jonte Collier, who managed to gain with their content over 800,000 followers before the account was shut down. But why is that? Well, on the 1st of August 2020, Walker County Sheriff's deputies and Roseville Police Department officers responded to shots fired on the East Peach Street in Roseville, Georgia, around 1 in the afternoon.
You hurt somebody in our community, this team behind me, we are going to do everything that we can to ensure justice is done.
In the area, witnessed a red truck and a blue Dodge Challenger speeding away from a house who belonged to Bradshaw. When the police arrived at the scene, they found Bradshaw shot inside his home. Bradshaw was immediately taken to Erlangen Hospital, where he eventually died because of the gunshot wounds. After Collier was arrested, Dodds posted a video claiming that his partner was innocent of any wrongdoings. For the past couple of days, I've been seeing a lot of things about John, and you all concerned about John. Has he harmed anyone? No, he has not done anything to anyone. You all know John. John wouldn't harm a soul. John is okay, I am okay you guys, everything is good. My baby will be home soon, he said in his video. And he continued things like this. Dodds even established a GoFundMe page to raise money for Collier's defense. Ironically, the day he posted that, Dodds was actually arrested by US Marshals Service in Huntsville, Alabama for Bradshaw's murder. There were also 2 more guys involved in this case, who were also charged with manslaughter. The couple was found guilty of murder and several other accounts. Eric received a life sentence without the possibility of parole and additional 5 years for possession of a firearm. Collier, on the other hand, also received a life sentence with a possibility of parole and additional 5 years of possessing a firearm. Now comes the question, why did the couple shoot the guy? From what I have found out, one guy called Day Day was staying at the couple's house. The guy was known to the police, often lying by his confessions, and was a drug addict. He stole the Dodge Challenger from the couple and drove to Bradshaw's house, not knowing that the car had an Apple car tag. The couple took their pickup truck, went to the house, and they recovered the car, who was driven by one of the cousins of the couple. And then suddenly, Bradshaw spotted the couple in his yard and he was shot through the house, which ultimately led to his death. They could also easily call the police and report the car stolen, and they would now not be in jail and still be making TikTok and private videos for their fans. But at the end, they ended up in jail. There are definitely some unhinged TikTokers out there, but there are also some YouTubers who are even worse than this. If you're interested to hear stories about YouTubers, I have a whole series about them on my channel just waiting for you, with the worst of the worst, even compiled in one video. Also, if you know about some other cases you wanna see me cover, drop a comment down below. I hope, because you're still watching this video, you already subscribed to my channel. If not, what are you waiting for? And don't forget to hit that like button. But if you feel extra generous, check out my Patreon. It will help me to devote more time for making videos like this. That's all from me now. I've been Snorky, and until the next deep dive, stay safe please.